How's everybody rocking with your boy? It's Big Vern again. Act stupid. Act like you got some sense. Hit the like and subscribe button. Also, follow us at all of our socials at the bottom of the ticker. And if you want to support us doing what we do, make sure you go ahead and drop it in that Cash App, $Vern Dollars. I want to talk to y'all for a second. Kenny Payne survives at Louisville to coach again for the season of 2023-2024. Now, Cardinal fans in Louisville will tell you that this man can't coach. He's an awful coach. But what they don't want to tell you is the circumstances that he got to Louisville in. Now, Louisville had a scandal going on with Rick Pitino and Katrina Powell and a lot of different players that they enticed with recruits and sex and money. So we're not going to act like that wasn't a thing. Also, the school did a self-discipline where they took away their own championship banner. I've never heard of that in history. And then they bought in Chris Mack right behind Rick Pitino. And Chris Mack came out as Xavier. He was teaching the pack line defense to the Cardinals. But I don't know, someone in Cardinal land thought that this wasn't a real exciting brand of basketball. So to my surprise, he was let go. They bring in Kenny Payne. A lot of kids transfer. They had a third string squad, and they were under investigation, and they thought they wouldn't even have a season. Now, all of that being said, he only won 9 games with the team that he had. Influx this year. There's about 2 or 3 guys that are left from last year's roster to this year. Also, there are 13 different players. So you're trying to find chemistry in a young season, and you're 5-7, and people are still mad at Kenny Payne for some reason. So I just wanted to ask this question. Real quick. Kenny Payne, he remains the head coach for 2023, but did they make the right choice? And we'll talk about it more when we come back from this 10-second break. So, did they make the right choice? And I don't know, but it is worth discussing because, like I say, Louisville's 5-7, and the Yum Center's a brand new arena, and so you got to fill that thing. It can't be that you have these records where you're not getting your point across. Look, the next 4 games that they have, they've got Virginia on Wednesday, January the 3rd. They're ranked number 22 in the country. And Tony Bennett has always been a thorn in Louisville's side, going back to Rick Pitino, going back to Chris Mack. And I don't think Kenny Payne has enough firepower in-house to beat them. Then they've got Pittsburgh, Miami, and NC State. Now, Louisville they're in the bottom 5 of the ACC. The ACC right now has 15 teams. Now, your bottom 5, Syracuse, Duke, Florida State, Louisville, and I mean, it is a who's who. It's a who's who's down there. And these are all storied programs. So, Cardinal fans, is it overreaction that you're sitting at the bottom of the ACC when you have powerhouses and blue bloods that have normally been at the tops? They're all rebuilding. Duke has a new coach in Shire. He's 8-3. I mean, if the ball bounces a couple of different ways, Louisville would be 6-6 right now. Texas was the only game that I said they had in the bag, and it got away from them. And that would have been a marquee win, and it would have been one for the Louisville faithful. But also, out of this, the home record for Louisville is 5-3. The thing that separates these 5 teams, none of them can win on the road. So if you have that and you have the wind in your sails, you're saying that the 2 games that you got at home, that's Pitt and NC State. Those games are winnable games. I'm saying they go 1-1 with Pittsburgh and they go 1-1 with NC State. I'd rather them get the home win because that's where the large money says that they can get these wins. But on the road, they have upside where they're not going to win on the road because they haven't won on the road all year. They're 0-1 in conference play. A lot of teams are 0-1 in conference play. So the overreaction to Kenny Payne keeping his job, to me, I feel like people haven't given it enough time. They haven't given it enough time. He's getting his players, and I want to go ahead and discuss that next, right after we take another 20-second break. So, yeah, Subway, eat fresh. Contact your local Subway or download the app. Make sure you go ahead and eat fresh by Subway. Back on it. So, let's just use devil's advocate. If you got rid of Kenny Payne right now, who could you get to coach the Louisville Cardinals? And a couple of names float around, but I'll give you my top three choices. Jay Wright. And Jay Wright has no desire to coach Louisville. I don't think Jay Wright would really take the Louisville job because Louisville is like a pressure cooker. They don't have a pro team in that city. So the college team is a pseudo pro team. And that's a team that this whole city gets behind. So to have the pro scrutiny on a college team, nobody wants that. Villanova was a place where he could go ahead and develop. He can get the kids he wanted, and then he can put the product out there, and he's got the national championships to back it up. Not saying Jay Wright can't provide that same electricity in Louisville, but he's not looking to. Another name nobody's talking about that I feel like would be one of the best decisions would be to hire Mark Jackson, former Golden State Warriors basketball coach. He has ties to the city of Louisville because his brother used to play here at Louisville before he passed. God rest his soul. So you have an NBA coach, and then you start to go ahead and have kids more interested in coming in with this NIL, and you are very big in the portal. You're grabbing kids. You're trying to get kids to fit your system. I think that Mark Jackson can turn that thing around and make it very successful. Also, Ben Howland. He used to be the former he was UCLA's former coach before they got rid of him. Mississippi State, he's got accolades. He's coach of the year. I think those three would be the only three that I would put out there as far as Louisville having another product people wanted to see. However, I am excited because Kenny Payne is putting good talent together. He just needs time. So this is his second year, but it's really like his rookie season because he inherited everybody he had last year. And had they not fired Chris Mack, and then they had an interim guy who was really good, but they let him go. But had they kept Chris Mack on, I think no matter who Louisville's coach was going to be, they were going to only have 9 wins. However, that thing shook out because I can't tell you any of the recruits that were coming. And when you don't have recruits that are coming, when you don't have 5-star guys, when you have to go out and you're depending on the portal and who's all there right now, it's not going to be a good recipe for winning. It's just not. So Kenny Payne, he survives. Louisville fans just have to go ahead and deal with it. The next 4 games, like I said, you got Virginia. They're not going to win that game. And then because Tony Bennett, he's going to be unstoppable at home. But then you got Pitt at home, Jeff Capel, his crew, they're coming. Then you've got Miami, Laurinega. He's going to have his guys primed and ready. I don't think Louisville has the horses to beat them. They could. If they pull off the upset against Miami and they get the NC State game, Louisville at this time is pretty much either 8-8 or 8-9, which is not a bad record. It's just not. But again, I could be wrong. They could go 0-4. They could go 0-4. But if that's the case, where do you stand? Cardinal fans, let me know. Kenny Payne, did they make the right decision keeping him? Or is just this another bad situation? Yep, another bad situation made worse. This your boy Big Vern in the App Stupid Podcast. App like you got some sense.